Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Expert MDCAT platform, and today we are going to discuss MCQs of homeostasis from second year biology. So the first MCQs is reabsorption of water by countercurrent multiply mechanism takes place at. Options are proximal tubule, option B is collecting duct, option C is distal tubule, and option D is loop of Henle. So here the correct option is loop of Henle. C. Counter current multiplier mechanism is the Roy word, and water is reabsorbed in descending loop of Henle. So the correct option is D. Question number 2 is antidiuretic hormone helps in reabsorption of water by changing permeability of. Options are proximal tubule, option B is collecting tubule, option C is distal tubule, and option D is loop of Henle. Here the correct option is B, collecting tubule. C. Water regulation in kidney is regulated by peptide hormone, which is vasopressin, is also called as antidiuretic hormone, abbreviated as ADH. See what happens, actually ADH increases water permeability of kidney collecting duct cells, allowing more water to be reabsorbed from collecting duct urine to blood. So here, according to our explanation, the correct option is B, collecting tubule. Question number 3 is during peritoneal dialysis, the dialysis fluid is introduced into which part of human body? Options are liver, option B is kidney, option C is abdomen, and option D is pancreas. The correct option is abdomen. During peritoneal dialysis, a cleansing fluid flows through a tube into a part of abdomen. So here the correct option is C, abdomen. Question number 4 is aldosterone helps in conservation or active absorption of. Options are sodium, option B is potassium, option C is calcium, option D is bicarbonate ions. Here the correct option is sodium. Actually, aldosterone supports active reabsorption of sodium ion with passive reabsorption of water and active section of potassium. So the correct option is A, that is sodium. Question number 5 is maximum reabsorption takes place in which part of the nephron? Options are distal tubule, option B is cortical tissue, option C is villi, and option D is proximal tubule. Here the correct option is D, which is proximal tubule. Because maximum reabsorption takes place in proximal tubule, proximal convoluted tubule of nephrons. So it is a simple line of the book, which is and whose correct answer is D, proximal tubule. Question number 6 is in a nephron, most of the reabsorption takes place in the. Options are distal tubule, option B is ascending limb, option C is proximal tubule, and option D is descending limb. Here, the correct option is C, proximal tubule. It is the same as question number 5. Question number 7 is detections of change are signaling for effectors. Response to the control system is A. Which type of feedback is we have to tell, and options are negative feedback, option B is intercoordination, option C is positive feedback, and option D is feedback mechanism. Here the correct option is negative feedback, that is A. Actually, negative feedback occur when some function of output of system is fed back in manner that tends to reduce fluctuations in output, whether caused by changes in input or other disturbances. So the correct option is A, that is negative feedback. Question number 8 is what are the three components of mechanism of homeostatic regulation? It is a simple line, and the correct option is A, that are receptors, control center, and effectors. These three are the major components of mechanism of homeostatic regulation. So moving towards our next MCQs, that is 9. Blood enters the glomerulus through. Options are afferent arteriole, option B is renal artery, option C is afferent arteriole, and option D is renal vein. Here the correct option is C, that is afferent arteriole. C. Blood enter glomerulus through afferent arteriole and leave glomerulus through afferent with EFFERENT, afferent arteriole. From afferent arteriole, EFFERENT, afferent arteriole blood leaves the glomerulus, and from afferent AFFERENT arteriole blood enters the glomerulus. So the next question is which portion of nephron is under the control of ADH? Options are Bowman's capsule, option B is distal and collecting ducts, option C is ascending arm, option D is descending arm. So the correct option is B, distal and collecting ducts. ADH, that is antidiuretic hormone, controls distal and collecting duct. So the next question is, site of filtration in nephrons is, which is obviously glomerulus and Bowman's capsule, so the correct option is D, that is glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. Question number 12 is, antidiuretic hormone increases the reabsorption of, obviously, water, so the correct option is A, that is water. Question number 13 is, active uptake of dash in the ascending limb or thick loop of Henle is promoted by the action of aldosterone. Options are potassium ions, option B is chlorine ion, option C is sodium ion, and option D is calcium ion. So the correct option is C, that is sodium ion. Because for active uptake of sodium ions, aldosterone plays role. So question number 14 is, the process through which the body maintains its internal environment from the fluctuations of external environment is called as. It's so simple, and the answer is homeostasis. That is the basic definition of homeostasis. So the correct option is A, that is homeostasis. Question number 15 is, active pumping out of sodium occurs at which part of nephron? Options are proximal tubule, option B is descending limb of loop of Henle, option C is ascending limb of loop of Henle, and the option D is collecting duct. Here the correct option is C, that is ascending limb of loop of Henle. Because uptake of sodium ions by aldosterone occurs at ascending limb of loop of Henle, for absorption of water takes place through the descending limb of loop of Henle. So here we have been asked about uptake of sodium ions, and that occurs through ascending limb of loop of Henle. So question number 16 is, which one of the following is responsible for the production of concentrated urine? Options are juxtamedullary nephrons, option B is proximal tubule, option C is cortical nephrons, and option D is distal tubule. Option A is correct one. Juxtamedullary nephrons are responsible for production of concentrated urine. So the correct option is A, juxtamedullary nephrons. Question number 17 is, reabsorption of useful constituents normally takes place in which one of the following? Options are proximal tubule, option B is Bowman's capsule, option C is distal tubule, and option D is glomerulus. Here the correct option is A, proximal tubule, and it is already explained before in question number 5 and 6. That means it's the most important one. Question number 18 is, which one of the following parts of excretory system in humans acts as counter current multiplier? Here again the key word is counter current multiplier. And the loop of Henle is responsible for reabsorption of water. So the correct option is D, that is loop of Henle. Question number 19 is, antidiuretic hormone, that is also called A, that is abbreviated as actually ADH, is released from. Options are anterior pituitary lobe, option B is hypothalamus, option C is posterior pituitary lobe, and option D is thalamus. So the correct option is posterior pituitary lobe. Actually, ADH, which is also called vasopressin, is produced in the part of brain called hypothalamus, and it is then released by posterior pituitary gland at base of brain. So the correct option is C, posterior pituitary lobe. Question number 20 is, which one of the following is the main nitrogenous waste product in humans? The correct option is urea, because in humans the nitrogenous waste product is in the form of urea, while in fishes it is in the form of ammonia. In reptiles it is in the form of uric acid. So here we have been asked about humans, and that is the urea. So question number 21 is, those nephrons which are present along the border of the cortex and medulla are called. Options are juxtamedullary nephrons, option B is internal nephrons, option C is cortical nephrons, and option D is outer nephrons. Here the correct option is A. Juxtamedullary nephron, because it is responsible for concentrated urine, and these nephrons are present along the border of the cortex and medulla. So question number 22 is, when water is in short supply, increased water retention occurs through the options are cortical nephrons, juxtamedullary nephrons, proximal convoluted tubule, the tissue of the cortex. Here the correct option is B, that is juxtamedullary nephrons. They are present along border of cortex and medulla, and it is responsible for concentrated urine. And see, if there is less water, more ADH will turn into more reabsorption of water, which results in less concentrated urine. So the correct option is B, the extramedullary nephrons. Question number 23 is, in nephrons, counter current multiply occurs at. See, this is again repeated many times, and it seems that it is also an important one. So counter current multiply is again a keyword, and it occurs at loop of Henle. It has thick and thin limbs. It is same as question number 1. Question number 24 is, ascending loop of Henle does not allow outflow of. Options are sodium ions, option B is chlorine ions, option C is potassium ions, and option D is water. The correct option is D, that is water. Ascending loop of Henle is responsible for uptake of sodium ions, potassium ions, and other ions. And it doesn't allow outflow of water, and water reabsorption is done at descending loop of Henle. But here we have been asked about descending loop of Henle, and it doesn't allow the outflow of water, so the correct option is D, that is water. Question number 25 is, a larger quantity of dilute urine is produced in diabetes insipidus. This disease is due to the deficiency of. Options are ADH, option B is thyroxine, option C is aldosterone, and option D is cortisol. Here the correct option is A, that is antidiuretic hormone, or also called ADH. More water will result into less ADH, and there will be more amount of dilute urine, which will result in diabetes insipidus. So the correct option is A, that is antidiuretic hormone. Question number 26 is, water and sodium ions are reabsorbed in urinary bladder and urethra, ureter, adrenal cortex, proximal convoluted tubule, and collecting duct. C. 80% of water and sodium are absorbed in proximal convoluted tubule and collecting duct. So the correct option is D, that is proximal convoluted tubule and collecting duct, where water and sodium ions, about 80% of water and sodium ions are reabsorbed. Question number 27 is, women's capsule continues as extensively convoluted portion known as. Options are peritubular capillaries, afferent arterioles, proximal convoluted tubules, afferent arterioles. Here the correct option is C, that is proximal convoluted tubules. The portion of renal tubule near women's capsule is is called the proximal tubule, and it leads to ascending and descending limbs of loop of Henle. So the correct option is C. Question number 28 is, the concentration of sodium ions in body fluids is controlled by the hormone. That is definitely correct option is C, and that is aldosterone. Aldosterone is responsible for the uptake of sodium ion. Question number 29 is, graph showing effectiveness of absorbed light is called. It is called action spectrum. So the correct option is C. It is graph of rate of biological effectiveness plotted against wavelength of light. It's called action spectrum. And yes, option C is correct. Question number 30 is, a hormone released from posterior pituitary lobe acts to actively transport water from filtrate in collecting tubules back to kidneys, known as. Options are renin, angiotensin, antidiuretic hormone, and growth factor. Here the correct option is B, that is ADH, antidiuretic hormone. It is released from posterior pituitary lobe, and it is involved in the reabsorption of water. And remember that two hormones are released from posterior pituitary gland. One is oxytocin and the second one is vasopressin, or we may call it as ADH, that is antidiuretic hormone. So these two hormones are released from posterior pituitary gland. Question number 31 is the removal of metabolic waste from the blood is called, simplest line, that is excretion. And metabolic waste removal is actually called excretion. Question number 32 is highly toxic nitrogenous excretory product is. Options are carbon dioxide, urea, uric acid, ammonia. Here the correct option is ammonia. Excretory waste of aquatic animals is ammonia. Remember that. And it is to be noted that a large quantity of water is required to dilute or remove ammonia. So highly toxic nitrogenous excretory product is ammonia that is released by aquatic animals. So question number 33 is select the part of nephron which is not permeable to water and stops its outflow. Options are glomerulus, option B is ascending loop, option C is proximal tubule, and option D is descending loop. Here the correct option is B, that is ascending loop. Because for sodium uptake it is actually thick one and the water outflow stops here. So the correct option is B, ascending loop. Question number 34 is vessels which carry blood to the glomerulus are called. Options are afferent arterioles, vasorecta, renal veins, afferent arterioles. Here the correct option is afferent arterioles, D1 with AFFERENT, afferent arterioles. Because towards glomerulus, afferent afferent arterioles play a role, while for taking away from glomerulus, afferent arterioles plays a role. So next question is, when water content in body becomes high, what will happen? Absolutely, ADH release will be inhibited. So the correct option is A, that is antidiuretic hormone release will be inhibited. So the correct option is A. Question number 36 is the main factor in producing hypertonic urine is, actually it is urine. Question number A is glomerulus. Option number A is glomerulus. Option B is influence of aldosterone. Option C is gradual increase in osmolarity from cortex to intermedulla. And option D is ADH influence in collecting duct. Here the correct option is C, gradual increase in osmolarity from cortex to intermedulla. So the correct option is C. Because more water excretes, that is hypotonic urine, and more solute excretion is said to be hypertonic urine, and which will lead to increase in osmoregularity. Question number 37 is all of the following are endotherms except birds, amphibians, some fishes, flying insects. Here the correct option is B, that is amphibians, because amphibians are ectotherms because they are cold-blooded animals. And what are cold-blooded animals? The animals in which regulation of temperature depends upon external resources such as heated rock surface or sunlight or other stimuli. So the correct option is B, amphibians. Question number 38 is the mechanism of regulation and its environment of solute and the gain and loss of water is called. Correct option is C, that is osmoregulation, and it is a simple definition of osmoregulation. And the maintenance of body temperature is thermoregulation, while removal of metabolic waste is excretion, and osmoregulation is the maintenance of amount of water and salt in body fluids. So the correct option is C. Question number 39 is what is the least selective process during urine formation? Here the correct option is C, that is pressure filtration. It is the least selective process as compared to the other three mentioned processes. Question number 40 is incidence of uric acid stone is. Options are 5%, 10%, 15%, 70%. The correct one is B, that is 10%. 10% is uric acid, 70% is calcium oxalate stones, and 15% is calcium phosphate stones. And here we have been asked about uric acid, and that is 10%. So thank you so much for watching.